We talk about movies here and the box office 2019 because we don't really have because 2021's box office has actually just started because of finally time to release movies in the theaters again, and it will start basically on May 28th when Cruella and A Quiet Place come out. But today talk about the 2019 box office. I think it will take like a couple of years for Hollywood for the box office to go back to 2019 numbers. Buzz. How it's gonna take a couple years when we'll cover. Probably some big Avengers movies gonna have to release or something like that. But they're the type of movies that did not deserve to gross $1 billion. So we're gonna go on the numbers. We're gonna go on the numbers. I think the numbers is a better site than here, but we're gonna go over the 2021. Do they have one of all time? Yeah, all time worldwide. And talk about movies that did not deserve $1 billion at the box office. Movies now gross $1 billion much more easier than before because of grosses, and yeah, they had the Dark Knight at not $1 billion. But the Dark Knight actually did gross $1 billion. I don't know why they don't have it at $1 billion. But there were a couple of movies that did not deserve to gross $1 billion, but only gross $1 billion because of the popularity of the series. So we're gonna go in over a couple. We're only going to go over a couple of movies because, So number one is the Disney remakes. Okay, so we're talking about the Lion King remake, which is the seventh highest grossing movie of all time. The Aladdin remake, the 37th highest grossing movie of all time. You know, and yeah, this also goes to the Alice in Wonderland remake, which also goes to $1 billion because 3D tickets costed more. So that's how it goes to $1 billion. But we're really talking about the Aladdin remake, and the Lion King remake. Okay, what again? There are more people who defend the Lion. There actually are people who defend the Lion King remake online, saying it isn't that bad of a movie. But come on, you have the emotionless animals. Everybody was saying this was a bad idea, but apparently it wasn't that bad of an idea for gross $1.6 billion. You know, it didn't really make a lot of money in China, so that's another big mystery. It didn't really bamboozle the Chinese boxers. Only made $100 million there, which is still a lot of money, but it really did well because nostalgia always is a powerful tool, and that's how a lot of these movies gross $1 billion because Disney, of course, uses nostalgia to attract people in the theater. Same thing with the Aladdin remake, which grossed $1.046 billion worldwide, basically here. And yeah, some of these box office numbers are wrong because yeah, Joker did not, Rise of Skywalker did not pass, Joker, and both movies passed Toy Story 4, I believe. But the next movie on the list is Minions. I actually was forced to see this in the theaters. I used to think it was funny, but I think I watched it too many times, and now I do not like this movie, Minions. It's not really that great. It's annoying. It's just not, the villain's not that great. Nothing. There's not really anything not much good about this movie. But unlike the Lion King and Aladdin, it is because of the popularity of these characters is the reason why this movie grossed $1 billion. It's the popularity of these characters that made this movie gross $1 billion because the Minions are extremely popular. A lot of people like the Minions. A lot of people think they're cute and funny. But $1 billion basically is also now as $1 billion grossing movie, and it'll forever be $1 billion grossing movie. The next movie is, of course, The Rise of Skywalker. Okay, it is a Star Wars movie, so it was going to cost $1 billion. But really, is it one of the worst Star Wars movies? The last that I can see, because people were excited for it, but no one was really excited for The Rise of Skywalker. Okay, no one was excited for this movie. No one wanted to see this movie. No one really cared about this movie. But Disney managed to sneeze this movie past $1 billion. Okay. And now we're talking about a couple of movies, that made $1 billion because of Chinese box office. So Captain Marvel, Age of Extinction, and Transformers: Dark of the Moon, not good movie. All three of them are not good, but all made $1 billion because of the Chinese box office. The Chinese box office made these movies past $1 billion. If it was not for the Chinese box office, Captain Marvel, would be at, around Despicable Me 2. If it wasn't for the Chinese box office, the Transformers movies would never gross $1 billion, as well. And Transformers, the last one, Transformers, the last Transformers movie, I forgot what it's called. Transformers, last night would have actually been a box office failure. It would have been a big lesson, to Hollywood. But because of China, the movie was not a flop. It was not a failure. Basically, like that. Transformers, the last night, because of course China went to go see it. And because China went to go see it, the movie was not a box office failure like everybody hoped it would. We still didn't get another Transformers movie, so that was a good thing from Michael Bay, but it still made a lot of money. I think it's still here. Where is it? Transformers the last night. I can't find it. So I'm around here. And I can't find it for some reason. Oh yeah, here we go. $600 million. The movie had, cost like $200 million, and because of the Chinese box office, this movie still grossed $1 billion worldwide. No, not $2 billion, $600 million. And you look at the international sales, you can see like half the time, but international box office really came from. It was really China. China really saved this movie from being a massive box office failure. Okay, and even then it still didn't gross $1 billion. So I said, "Yup, Michael Bay, you're done." You're done making Star Wars, Transformers movies. And the same thing can apply with Captain Marvel. The only reason why Captain Marvel made $1 billion was because of the Chinese box office. Because you look at Captain Marvel, we could go to Captain Marvel here as well. The same thing with Transformers Dark of the Moon, and of course the other Transformers movies. You can really see, look at this Chinese box office. You can see $150 million in this one market alone. So if you exclude the Chinese box office, the movie will have not grossed $1 billion. Okay, with the movie made gross $153 million. No other market even came close. And gross, no other market even came close. The highest was the UK, was a gross $50 million in. And I'm just shocked that Captain Marvel made so much money because everybody hated it, including me. It's just such a boring and just not good movie. But again, Minions grossed $1 billion, and it's at number 2050. Another movie is Iron Man 3. Another movie that grossed that because of they had its box office success taken from China. Here was the Chinese box office is not listed here, but yeah, it grossed a lot of money in China. Basically here. And it says rest of the world was a large bulk of that rest of the world money was Chinese money, like $200 million, like $150 million, $140 million of that was China. The movie was still going to make $1 billion because it was the conclusion to the Iron Man movies, but it's just made $1 billion because of China. But yeah, the big movies that made $1 billion because of China, Age of Extinction, and Dark of the Moon. Both made $1 billion because of Chinese box office. Once again, the Chinese box office is not listed here, but most of this rest of the world, it made like $200 million in China, like the last one. The same thing with Dark of the Moon. Both of these movies are known for making billions of dollars in China. Transformers is known for making a lot of money. Even Bumblebee made a lot of money in China. No. I watched Bumblebee one. I watched the Bumblebee movie. It wasn't that great. No, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It was better than the rest of the Transformers movies, but it wasn't that great as the critics made it out to be. Basically, Dell. Yeah, but yeah, Bumblebee. I'm actually just gonna look it up here. So Bumblebee. Be the Transformers movie. Yeah, this one. Yeah, you look at the international sales here. It still made $130 million in the Chinese box office. It still made that much money in the Chinese box office here. And yeah, the box office had pretty good rigs in USA, but most of its international sales, like most of the Transformers movies, cost $1 billion. Another franchise that does is like this is Fast and the Furious. Basically, Fast and the Furious is basically like this as well. Movies they'll do so well in China. That even if one of the movies is complete garbage, it will still make its money from China because again, people in China don't really have anything to watch, so it will still make like $500 million. That's why I joked about the Fast and the Furious video. the Blu-ray video is the fact that it'll probably still gross like $600 million. Even if it's like the worst movie ever, it still grows like $200 million in China, and it already covered its budget already with the Chinese box office. Let's look at the fate of the Furious' box office in China. Even like the spin-offs do really well in China. This is it made $392 million in China, which is completely insane for a movie, you know. Yeah, the movie only made $200 million domestically. It didn't really do too well. And we also have Hobbs and Shaw, which even that made a lot of money in China. The movie didn't make $1 billion, but it still did super well. It's still even a spin-off like Hobbs and Shaw still made $200 million in China. So Fast and the Furious it's definitely is more popular in China than it is in America. It actually the last like 3 or 4 entries outbeat the American box office as well. So as I was thinking of Furious 7, I'm not complaining about Fast and the Furious, but I'm just showing you that it's another franchise that basically just China has taken over, basically. And now, yeah, you have international sales here for the Furious 7. It still made more money in China than America, here as well. Well, like Endgame is very similar. Endgame still makes more money in America, but you look at these sales in China. The Furious 7 was the first movie where China overtake the box office for the movie. So, yep, that's basically it about this video. I don't really think of any other movies that didn't deserve to go to $1 billion, and that's basically it. Goodbye.